I got things to show you. It's been a while. I have not been sitting idle with my wish list and exploration, so let's get this party started. First and foremost, I snatched myself Shalimar Millesime Jasmin by Guerlain. It's no longer there where it snatched it, so lucky me. Guerlain has this new tradition when they every year release a deluxe, not just a flanker, deluxe flanker, kind of haute couture, impressionist olfactory painting of their historic classic fragrance Shalimar. According to quite a few reviewers, Jasmin version, which is 2024, and I think 2025 is going to be Rose for those who are interested, is not as much Jasmin as it is the OG Perfume, Shalimar Eau de Parfum, as it was used to be made, sort of vintage version of it. It's very rich, it's very smooth, it's spicy enough without any contradictions between the notes coming together. So I'm not even a Shalimar girl, to be completely honest with you. For a heavy, ambery, spicy, think Eastern culture type of perfumes, I prefer Le Fang Elephant by Kenzo or Ambers. Ambers, just classic, well-rounded, maybe slightly herbal or slightly spicy ambers. It does it for me. Shalimar is somewhat difficult for me to wear. I appreciate it, but wear-wise, it's a rare occasion. So I thought, if I'm gonna have one, let it be Millesime Jasmin. Talking of smooth, sweet perfumes, Shalimar would be a more kind of high-end, since it's a Millesime, but classic version. But a beloved among many people who prefer to just shop in Ulta, Sephora, and they don't want to get busy scanning the vast world of niche perfumery. L'Interdit Rouge, which is a dark red bottle. I really wanted to find L'Interdit L'Interdit, I think you say it, that I would like. And tuberose often is a difficult note for me to wear. So after much trying this and that, I landed on the rouge version. I think black version to me is very similar. I can barely tell them apart. If you do, please let me know where you see the difference between black. I think it's extreme and rouge. I got it secondhand because I don't really care about packaging as much. And to me, this is one of those, due to the tuberose, still refreshing but very much enveloping gourmands. It's very confectious, sweet, condensed milk, coconutty, kind of this, and then difficult to identify any particular note. At least right now, I just smell something incredibly sweet in a popular sense of the world. It's a popular designer type of a gourmand without too much ethyl maltol. That is the sugar candy note. Acquolina pop sugar, you think La Vie Belle, Angel, Mugler. I do not like perfumes that are very centric on ethyl maltol. I don't really like this sticky, almost like burnt sugar, confectious note. Here, it's more syrupy, but it's not too fake. It's not too chemical. It has this enveloping, soft manner to it. So very happy to get L'Interdit Rouge. This is in addition to my not so large, but notable edible gourmand collection. Talking of ethyl maltol, free with purchase, I got, I think it's fairly new body mist. I think there is a set. There is either warm and cozy or fresh and something. I actually wanted to get the fresh one, but I made a mistake. So I got warm and cozy instead. As I said, talking of ethyl maltol, this is pretty much what it is. It is a very faint version of La Vie Belle by Lancôme with very cheap synthetic coconut. Not my favorite thing in the world. Most likely will be using as a just bathroom spray or, room spray. Nevertheless, since it's new and since it's very affordable, if you do like Olivia Bell, if you do like Andrew Mugler, and you just want a whiff of something, this might be worth as a gift with purchase, or if they have a sale on it. But otherwise, yeah, Victoria's Secret perfumery is a bit of a mystery for me. I just do not quite understand how they make decisions. How do they decide what products to release? Because all of them remind me a lot about those kind of standard Bath and Body Works body sprays that are very synthetic, that are not really particularly interesting. And again, when you benchmark it against Zara, that does make fast fashion fragrances as well as they do clothing, but their fast fashion fragrances are actually interesting. They might be not as rich and long lasting and this and that, but there are always some catchy idea there of a scent profile. Vetiver with green leather, or mineral accord plus freesia, this or that, but it's interesting. In my view, it's even more interesting than Jo Malone often. And Victoria's Secret perfumery, I think they were stuck in 2000, 2003. I can't wait to see if they change that direction anytime soon, because Victoria's Secret is the last place I would go in search for a cozy perfume. Talking of cheapies, let me introduce you to a perfume that I am looking forward to trying, and this is White Tea by Elizabeth Arden. This particular one, this is a flanker, and it's called GingerLily. I'm a big lily fan. I'm always game to trying anything that has lily in it. Not lily of the valley, but a royal white lily. In this particular case, with GingerLily, I would say I don't really get anything naturalistic. But what they call lily here, first of all, White Tea by Elizabeth Arden is one of those cheapies that I wish that profile was available in Victoria's Secret and many, many other affordable perfume lines, because it's simple, delightful, comforting, and yet feminine. So the White Tea Accord, kind of the somewhat watered down green tea, is very welcome. It's a great base to start from. When it comes to adding GingerLily to it, as I said, I don't really particularly feel anything lily-like. It's definitely a little bit more zesty, fresher, greener. Maybe bergamot-y in a way. I wouldn't say that it has anything that reminds me of citruses like lemons or limes. Well, maybe lime a little bit. But the freshness here is kind of like green, somewhat bitter fresh florals, but not quite a lily scent. Oddly enough, it reminds me somewhat of Baiser Volée by Cartier, but there I do recognize the white lily. That one is also very light, fresh, zesty, floral. This one is a little bit softer, a little bit more well-rounded, but it's not really a lily. Just in case you're looking for a cheap lily, this is probably not going to be it. But otherwise, it's a delightful, fresh, flowy floral. It doesn't smell synthetic, it doesn't smell cheap, and as I said, the White Tea line by them has this very comfortable, confident, simple, but friendly, wearable, non-synthetic smelling base. Like, it's very well chosen base for an affordable brand because it smells more expensive than what it costs. And I am preparing my nose to more blind tests from my friends' Fragheads collections. So I'm trying to get benchmarks, things that I should know, I think, and things that I want to compare any new fragrances with. So there are two that are usually marketed toward men, not that I care. And both of them are from Lalique, and the first one is Lalique pour Homme. incredibly high quality of a make, the bottle make. That's astonishing for the price that you can buy it online. Unfortunately, most of the classics by Lalique, I guess nearly all of Lalique, you can't really try in person, so it's crazy guess. Or you can click on the link below and try it from my shelf if you really want to. Just kind of get a decant instead of collecting bottles upon bottles of things you don't know if you'll like or not. But Homme is interested in me not only as one of the classics and very affordable fragrances by the brand, but first, Lalique has very high reputation in making expensive scents and selling it cheap. God knows why, but they do. Second, they had woody citrusy lavender listed in the pyramid, and I'm currently searching for dry, fresh lavender. Nothing smoky, nothing sugary, nothing like a lavender latte, nothing gourmand. Dry, fresh, sort of highland lavender type of perfumes. So I needed to try that for sure. And second, a lot of people compare this with New York Intense by Patricia Nicolai and Creed Bois something something. And generally, a lot of people say that this is their staple. And since Lalique doesn't really invest in marketing, their fragrances, you cannot try them anywhere in person. For this to stay as relevant for that many years, there's got to be something in it. I immediately fall in love with the opening. This is the softest spiciness that I've tried in many fragrances marketed toward men. Unfortunately, a lot of men's fragrances that mention spices are extremely spicy. They are just beating your face into a pulp with how much black pepper or this or that they have, plus some rocks or amberwood or whatever. This has this delicate, very refined, softly milled spices. And then you get a elegant classic, what's called fougere. And again, lavender plus woody plus citruses is usually what people call fougere. Lavender here is not a solid note, so you don't get like a whiff of the lavender essential oil. That's not the case. It just gives a warmth and coolness to what you smell. It's incredibly elegant, and what I love about it, it doesn't smell dated. It doesn't age you. It doesn't smell heavy. It doesn't smell vintage. It smells incredibly timeless. It smells contemporary. I could easily see something like that coming from Penhaligon's, something like that coming from Atkinson's, from Ex Nihilo, and yada yada yada. It's very well blended, elegant, and it has facets that are softly, non-intrusively are kind of showing themselves here and there. So you can study it. It has opening, it has complexity, but it's very subdued. Anyone can wear it, of any age, any man of any age, well, including me. Not a man, don't care. Because it's so elegant. I can put any floral on top of this or any gourmand on top of this. I can put literally any other more flirtier or unusual, yummy or refreshing note on top of this. And this is going to blossom into a whole new creation. What a find. Confirm this is a cheapy classic and impeccably packaged, timeless. Do not be afraid to try it because it's been on the market for a long time. It will not age you. Next classic by Lalique. It's my second time I'm purchasing this. Encre Noir by Lalique, which is pretty much black ink in translation. I got the smallest size I could, and I think this is 50 ml, because my last memory of Encre Noir was there was a piece of plastic that got clinically depressed. So I was iffy if I should go there again. But it's such a staple. Every time you talk about any perfume that's, men's collection or anything that relates to vetiver, you will run into comparisons by contrast or by similarity with Encre Noir by Lalique. Researcher in me gave in. I bought it the second time. Also, it's always useful to refresh not only your memory, but to see how they keep reformulating the classics, because they have to. Perfume ingredients are just like grapes and wine ingredients. It depends on the harvest, it depends on the year, it depends on many aspects. So if there is even a whiff of a natural in any perfume, it will change through the years. So if you've got yourself a batch that you like, get yourself a backup from the same year. Otherwise, you're not guaranteed to get the same experience, even with synthetics, since a regulatory institution called IFRA keeps banning different aromatic ingredients or reducing their allowed concentration. That also triggers a lot of fragrances to be reformulated at unknown times. It's never ever gets announced. The only brand that comes to mind that does it more or less tactfully is Guerlain, because when they reformulate and reissue their classics, let's say Champs-Élysées or Idylle or Après Landais, Lou, like all of those good ones, Mitsuka, they repackage them as well. So you know that you're getting a new rendition, if you wish, a new remix on the same fragrance. That makes it somewhat more manageable and more easier to deal with. But yeah, so the contemporary liquid, the juice that they put in Encre Noir these days, still gives me this depressed plastic illusion. It's just such a sad, musky, sour mineral vetiver. As much as I'm in love with Mineral Accord in general, in many of its facets, when it gets sour, like vinegar sour, musky not in terms of BO or heaviness, but the sour musks, something that like smells like wine or vinegar. It's just doesn't do anything for me. But it's a reference. We'll see if I change my mind with time. We'll see. If you love Encre Noir, or if you don't love it as much and mix it with something else, I'm waiting for your tips, because this is right now purely for research type of a flacon, the bottle, and I can't see myself ever using it as a personal perfume. So if anybody wants to rescue it in my collection, please let me know what I could do about it. I kind of feel I didn't talk enough about it, but at the same time, it's such a classic. It's thin. People say dry vetiver. To me, this is very mineral, wet stone vetiver. Imagine the smell of wet stones under the November rain, plus dry grass. Very sad, very melancholic type of scent, and not in a good way, in my view. Continuing the thread of designer perfumes, or at least perfumes that you can find easily in department stores, I think this is the last purchase from Estee Lauder luxury collection that I'm gonna do for a while, because I think I've sampled all of the things that I was interested in, and I keep finding them less and less impressive the further I stray away from Tender Light, which is my favorite perfume from the line overall. I got myself this Desert Eden, which for whatever reason I thought it was dessert, but no, it's not a gourmand, it's Desert Eden. It's supposed to smell like a cacti flower of some kind, or aloe, with a few other notes. To me, it's very uncertain in its composition. Like, it's hard to tell what it smells like. If you ever smelled various cacti flowers, they usually, some smell like bio, some smell horrible, but most of them smell of sugar water. Like this very faint, unidentifiable, pleasant, softly sweet, maybe fruity sweet, but very faint type of a smell. Here we have a mix with some other notes, kind of like lotusy. I feel like there's like some fresher opening to it. And then it just lands in this very uncertain, mediocre, and you can't determine what kind of fruitiness is it. It's just like some sweet nothing. It's just boring. It really does absolutely nothing on any front for me. It's pretty much something you would put on if you had to put something on and you're in a friend's house and you're just like, all right, I need something. This is not too bad. All right, will do. I can't see how Desert Eden could be anybody's favorite, let alone signature from Estee Lauder. If you disagree, please let me know what are the facets of Desert Eden by Estee Lauder that you find captivating. Right now, I feel like this is not money well spent, and I should have stopped while I was ahead with this line. I think that this is the last nail. I think I'm done there. I already found things that work, things that are beautiful and lovely, and as I said, I have Blushing Sands, I have Tender Light, and I have Dream Dusk. Tender Light is where it's at. From the Estee Lauder Luxury Collection, everything else I feel like is kind of like, take it or leave it. And another, a lot of people call it niche, but I think it's still designer, Margiela, Replica Exchange by Maison Margiela. And I don't remember them packaging things in tins. Either this is new or I'm out of touch with reality. Okay, so first of all, the cap keeps losing its parts, and I haven't really dropped it anywhere. It's just like keeps chipping, and not so good. This fragrance is called Afternoon Delight. I bought it blindly after watching a favorite perfume reviewer. Have you ever done that? Why? I do not know. I should have thought some more. But I was thinking that a soft souffle, somewhat edible, but not in your face, not too sweet of a gourmand, it's exactly what I need more in my life. I'm not sure I was right about this. The Afternoon Delight is supposed to give you warm vanilla Madeleine cookie type of a impression. It just gives me a molecular vanilla fragrance. Probably 10 years ago, if not longer, there was an army of these quiet, subdued molecular vanilla fragrances, and pretty much if you grab any body spray that says vanilla, you'll get this. The bouquet that's supposed to make me think of Madeleine or any other desserts is so subtle here that I dare say it doesn't really exist. It's just a watered down, very, very faint vanilla. It's not vanillin. Maybe it kind of sort of reminds me of vanilla ice cream, vanilla gelato. Maybe, because it has somewhat of a lactonic character too. But that's about it. You can definitely bathe in this perfume. I did, and I don't think it really makes a difference how little or much you apply. You just get whiffs of vanilla longer, but ultimately it's kind of disappointing. All right, I'm gonna say it's disappointing. I am gonna use it as a body spray, as a room spray. You can see where I'm going with this. This is not gonna be something that you think about, something that you crave. unless it grows on me quietly over time, I do intend to use it. I do. It's just gonna be and forget about it. It's not gonna, it doesn't seem like it's special. It doesn't seem like it's the quiet or soft gourmand that I want to talk about. Like Bake Awake by Acro. Those gourmands, they're worth a conversation. Even though I still don't find them revolutionary, but they are interesting enough. They have more of a punch, more diffusiveness. This is so uncertain, so blah, that why would you buy? I mean, it's not cheap. Replica Exchange is not that cheap. If you can buy kind of a milky vanilla fragrance as a body spray for $10, why not? Why would you buy this? I don't know. Before we jump to niche, I'll show you a craft perfume that I got secondhand because I've been craving to try this forever. This is Lush, Death and Decay. It's their version of a aggressive Animalic lily scent. Did I mention I like lilies? Did I? Yes, I do. Wow. Lush perfumes confuse me. They remind me of the way Ducita makes perfumes and some southern Italian niche brands such as Xerjoff, Casamarati, and yada yada. They're very bright, they're full of character, they almost scream at you. And that I can live with. It's a very chunky, vivid, splashy presence. Does it remind me of a lily? Sort of. There's definitely spiciness and depth and animalic nature of lilies that I can find here. But there is also way more than that. Lily, I think, is only a third of a fragrance. The rest of it is in your face, something comfortable, something like myrrh maybe. It just smells dated, not necessarily vintage, dated, like old, something that's been on the shelf for 60 years. There's something heavy and smothering about it. And lilies can smell this way, but it's not the same effect. Lilies can be smothering because they're very, very animalic, that they're very spicy, they're very loud. This just has this kind of old, oily grandma beauty shelf type of a smell. I'm fairly certain that this didn't go bad because I went to the Lush store. I bought it secondhand. But I went to the Lush store and smelled a fresher bottle. It was exactly like this. So Death and Decay by Lush, and Lush in general. Sorry to say that interesting. I'll give it a go. Very likely I will have to layer it with something else because I'm not sure I'm fully on board with what it smells like. Their dry down is kind of boring and they dry down flat in my view. They open up like fireworks. They have a lot of loud character, an interesting character. But the dry down to me is usually cheap and somewhat flat. It's just not interesting. And there's always some refinement that I find missing in the way that they make perfumes. Probably the last time you see Lush on my channel. It's interesting experiment, and not one is enough.